Transitioning out of the military into civilian life should be an exciting new chapter in the lives of service members. However, studies show that of the nearly 200,000 personnel who leave the U.S. military each year, 30% leave with no job and 71% don't sign up for VA benefits. The ETS sponsorship program is a nonprofit organization trying to change that by combining different resources to help transitioning veterans and their families through a program called Onward Ops. Joining us to talk about that today are Mike Eastman, Executive Director for the ETS sponsorship program, and Mike Houlihan, Director for Workspace with Google Public Sector. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. And let me start with you, Mike Eastman. Can you briefly describe the Onward Ops mission and the approach that you are taking to help service members and their families transition to civilian life?
I can. Why? Thank you for the question. So our mission is really pretty straightforward. We want to ensure that every service member and their family leaving military service has the best possible chance of succeeding in the next chapter of their lives as veterans. And our approach to that is relatively straightforward. We engage with these service members up to a year before they've left the military to build a relationship and give them time to plan for this major life change. We pair them with a sponsor trained and certified by the VA that lives in the community they're moving to give them local knowledge and help remove some of the stressors in this change. And then we put them all on a platform powered by Google Workspace that allows them to work together and secure data and information that's important to them as they make this journey.
And then, Mike Houlihan, how will Google Workspace offer a distinct solution to enhance the community building experience that Mike was talking about for transitioning service members?
Thank you, Wyatt, for the question, and thanks for allowing me to be here with you today. Mike and the Onward Ops team is looking to leverage our Workspace solution that is used literally by 8 billion users worldwide to bring those transitioning service members and their sponsors together, leveraging our Workspace platform. So think of, Gmail or email, chat, video, document sharing, right? A lot of these transitioning service members have never written a resume. They've never done really an interview for a job. So being able to share content like mock interviews, being able to use some of our newer, what we call Duet AI, artificial intelligence, to be able to help those transitioning service members write an actual resume for them using artificial intelligence. They're looking to leverage that platform to bring those transitioning service members and sponsors together via our Workspace platform.
And then back to you, Mike Eastman. Can you share some ways that Google Workspace is actually improving the efficacy of your Onward Ops mission in helping veterans?
Sure. The core of what we do, of course, is the human-to-human connection. Each of these veterans really benefits from having another person in the community they're moving to that can help them, connect them, advise them along the way. But the human-to-human connection requires technology to reach its full potential. And this is where the work with Google really comes in. It's sort of down to us, the 3 C's, right? Google Workspace allows our service members and their sponsors to connect, to collaborate, and to consolidate. Connect with one another despite wherever they might be located in the world. Collaborate on documents like Mike Houlihan mentioned, with resumes or budgeting or disability processing, all the things that are involved in this transition journey. And then consolidate. You have a tremendous amount of important documents that you come out of the military with. And unfortunately for many, those are lost when you turn in your military ID card. You no longer have access to that system. So the ability that Workspace gives us to take those documents, transfer them to another secure drive, and then have the service member keep them, I think is just one less hurdle we've taken out of their way as they make this journey.
It makes a lot of sense. And then just following up on that, can you share how working in the virtual spaces also expanded the types or number of individuals that are volunteering to help service members in their transition?
Yeah, one of the things that we are really excited about is based on the capabilities that we have now had with Google Workspace, we've introduced risk screening into our process. And this is where, the country as a whole is sort of limited in the number of mental health providers that it has. This is a fairly well-documented challenge. But we can now do a risk screening of everyone that enrolls in our program and identify those that are in most need of assistance. This involves the collaboration not only of the service member, the sponsor, and their community, but now through Workspace, we've introduced intake specialists. And if someone scores very highly on this and at risk, we're connecting them within 24 hours, again, through Workspace with a mental health provider. This allows us to identify those that are going to need the most help very early, get them that help, and rather than spread a limited resource broadly, focus it on where it can have the most impact. Only possible with the collaborative tools and the secure data storage that we gained through this partnership with Google.
And then back to you, Mike Houlihan. I'm curious, how are you seeing other organizations use Google Workspace in innovative ways to connect communities who are otherwise geographically dispersed?
Really, since the pandemic, we've seen an explosion of some unique use cases for Google Workspace. A couple of quick examples are we've got a county out in the western part of the U.S. that's using our Workspace technology to help with wildfires for the community. So they are using our technology to bring together 50 different disparate emergency response organizations and providing them with Workspace solutions. So when something happens out in the community from a wildfire standpoint, that information gets translated to different languages out to those 50 different emergency response units. They're using Google Maps to overlay where the particular fire or issues might be. And then most importantly, they're using our technology to get that word out to the constituents in this county that has 1.5 million residents, as well as it's a tourist location, so lots of different foreign languages. So they're both getting that message out to the community immediately, as well as translating it into a lot of different languages. And another use case really is around what we call frontline workers. So think of a postal carrier or a fire person or a bus driver, right? That's not sitting in front of a computer like probably the three of us do every day. How do they stay connected to their organization and to their community? Via Workspace, these organizations are giving them email access. They're including them in different work spaces, so to speak, and community groups leveraging our technology. So those are just a couple examples of some unique and different use cases.
Back to you, Mike Houlihan, again. So how do you see ETS and Google thinking about expanding your collaboration, both from a technological point of view and also a communal perspective?
The technology side of things is actually the easy part. We're talking to Mr. Eastman and team about leveraging a lot of the different technologies inside Google public sector, as well as big alphabet like Google Voice, like Google Wallet. Imagine being able to take a service member that has a food insecurity issue and be able to, via Google Wallet, put $50 into that person's account so they can go down to the local grocery store to get groceries. We're also looking at leveraging and using AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning, with all of the data that Onward Ops is bringing into the organization. And then from a communal standpoint, that's kind of the fun part, where we're looking to leverage the big alphabet and the 10,000 plus vets that we have within our organization to help from a sponsorship standpoint, as well as we're working with our government affairs team to make sure that we're going hand in hand with Mr. Eastman and the Onward Ops team to get the message out to the Capitol Hill folks. And we're also working with Mike's team to make sure that we go into the different Department of Defense groups and the VA with our teams to get that message out as well.
And then wrapping up with you, Mike Eastman, tell us a little, what have been the best things that you've learned after integrating a virtual workspace into this program, and maybe lessons learned about expanding workspace collaboration in a cloud environment?
Yeah, that's a great question. Look, transition as it exists today, as it has existed for the last several decades, is best described as a series of silos. The Department of Defense has a silo. The Veterans Administration has a silo. Everyone has silos. And you're a new service member making a major life change. It's difficult to hop from silo to silo to silo. There has never been a process more necessary for collaboration than this one. And what we're discovering is when you level the playing field and when everyone can see the information that is necessary at the same time and securely, it is much more efficient. And so lessons learned, this needs to be as easy as possible. We facilitate that through single sign-on. This needs to be secure, and we need to have the trust of those folks that enroll with us that the data they provide to us will be safeguarded and used only with their consent. So I frankly would say in summary that this is a use case for a set of collaboration tools with a population that needs it, and we are already seeing better outcomes as a result of the way that this process is evolving.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like a terrific program doing a lot of good, and as you mentioned, breaking through a lot of silos and really empowering servicemen and women and their families to be able to get the resources they truly need. So commend you both for this program. So Mike Eastman and Mike Houlihan, really appreciate your sharing your insights and describing how this program is working and where it's heading. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Good.